Hello, my name is Koray Tuberkübür and I am the owner and founder of Holistic SEO and Digital. In this video, I will demonstrate one of the websites that I will publish later. And this website will also have a kind of place in the future SEO case studies. If you watched the previous video, I guess you will remember what the initial ranking and the re-ranking mean. In this video, I will show another example of a ranking process, and I will talk about the query templates, intent templates, and document templates, because these terms will help you to create better content marketing strategies or creating better locally interconnected content networks. In this context, for this website, probably I will hide the domain name again and I will publish it in the article. And we are working with this project for 5 months. It's not more than 5 months. And this shows the last 6 months graphic. And we actually used advantage of the initial ranking. In the article, when I publish the SEO case study, there will be a section for robust.txt. If you check that section, you will see the advantage of the initial ranking and increasing the topical coverage in one day. So this big jump, which is 140,000 clicks in one day, so it actually has a kind of a ranking effect, as you can see directly. When you increase your impression and clicks, also your average position increase too. So of course these two things are connected to each other, or these three things are connected to each other. But in the sample is actually the clicks, impressions, or your topical coverage also affect your average position directly. In normal conditions, when you start to publish a content, it actually doesn't have this kind of average position. And for this website, we have created entirely a new subdomain, subfolder, and this sub knowledge domain was entirely new for this source. So having this kind of average position in the initial ranking phase is not so easy at all. And after that, as you can see, our rankings, our clicks, they are actually decreasing, because at this point I also used a seasonal event. So this sample is also about seasonal SEO, and I will publish another article about seasonal SEO. I will include this screenshot also there, because this seasonal SEO success has created an efficient and positive historical data, so that we can trigger a re-ranking process and we can improve our historical data and also the topical authority in this context. To explain the historical data's importance, you can actually check my topical authority case study. There you will see the name, a section for historical data. In the future SEO case study article, you will see it again in the context of initial ranking and ranking processes. So these big drops, as you can see, they are the unconfirmed Google updates. If your website is new, or let's say it's not new, but it's in the gray area, in other words, Google will test it. So if you see this kind of big drops, I suggest you to check your other websites. As an SEO, I have lots of websites and lots of data so that I can make any kind of analysis. For instance, this one, it's from actually this is another unconfirmed Google update, but in international SEO industry, it is called September 1st unconfirmed Google update, but for me it is 27 August. Since this is Turkey, based on Turkey, I believe there are some date differences. And then at the 4th of the September, there was another unconfirmed Google update in this context. So as you can see, even if the seasonal event passed away, we actually didn't lose all of the initial ranking advantage and also the re-ranking advantage here. Our previous average position, as you can see, it was bigger than 10 or even 11, and then we actually have opened all of the knowledge domain, or we have expanded our topical map with really comprehensive way. thanks to the semantic SEO. And as you can see after that, we actually start to see a re-ranking process directly. In the case study, I will also show the coverage section so that you will be able to actually understand it better. And if I'm lucky to have the log files from the development team, I will be able to show it too. And at the peak day, and this day actually it started. So this is the first day of that specific seasonal event, and then it actually it's a really quick event. It doesn't have any kind of like 1 week prominence, to be honest. So in the context of historical data and creating a kind of new topical map, you should know when Google actually will have lots of data or a trending topic so that it can trigger a ranking process. If there is something trending, it means that Google will refresh the SERP. So during this refreshment process, even if you don't update your own content, you will see that Google will actually crawl your web pages more and more. So in this context, when I started the project, this was the first step. So in my strategy, I have chosen an event, and for that event, I have created an entire new and related, a contextually relevant new section. And I am actually taking this video today. As you can see, this is a little bit dark, because soon I will repeat the same thing with another subsection, and you will see that we will start to increase our average position and rankings and impressions again. So I wanted to keep everything live here. I didn't want to use any kind of time filtering here for by cutting this section. So in short, let me just explain the query templates and document templates and intent templates. As you already know, most of the queries are close to each other, and if a query is similar to another one, they will be clustered together. When Google clusters these queries, they usually call them as contextual vector or a kind of context vector. And within a context vector, since people usually search in a similar way, they also have similar search intents. So in query templates, we actually use also the intent templates, and based on that, thanks to the search intent understanding, we create document templates. And these query templates and search intent templates and document templates, they create a connection, and also they create a content network with local interconnectivity. When I publish my SEO course or semantic SEO course, you will be able to see actually how this type of opportunities can be found, and how Google will actually test the website, or how we can create a content network, or how we can deepen the contextual relevance, or how we can improve the contextual sharpness for the search engine, or how to find a query template, and what kind of a document template should be created based on that, and what it can be connected to else. So all these questions I will try to explain in the course, and I can tell you that speaking against the camera or speaking in the room while alone is not so easy for me, so I'm trying my best, forgive me. And in this context, lastly, if you want to compare the numbers, this is like 2,000 clicks per day and 65,000 impressions per day with the average position of 12. And at the moment it is 10,000 clicks and 233,000 of impressions and 8.3 average position. So when Google publishes new unconfirmed updates, it will be very much better. And the other thing is that, as I said, yes, Google of course does unconfirmed updates, and the dates are not always same. In the international media, usually they use 2 or 3 days later from the Turkey. I don't know why. Maybe Google publishes some things earlier on in Europe or in Middle East in this context. So, but in this context, I always suggest you to check all of the webmaster forums, and whenever you have an unconfirmed update, also check all of the other websites, not just based on the industry, by the way. You will see that the unconfirmed updates, they can affect a kind of e-commerce website and another blog website and also another video website or image website or a recipe website at the same time. So do not think that an update will only affect a certain type of website. In this context, you will actually need to understand that when it comes to clustering, they have lots of dimensions. And you will also notice that certain websites in your repository will be affected from certain type of updates. For instance, I have other websites that are not affected from these updates, but they are affected from other confirmed updates, and this website is not affected from that. If you are able to create this type of groups in your repository, you will be luckier to create kind of insights in your projects. I believe I have explained things a little bit, and if you are able to give the feedbacks about these videos, I would appreciate that because, as you know, to be honest, I am not a YouTuber, and I just try to explain complicated things related to SEO as much as I can within 5 minutes or 6 minutes. I didn't check the timing yet. Maybe it is, anyway, maybe 7 or 8. So if you tell me anything that you want to learn in the comments, I will try to answer them in the comment section, or I will try to answer them within my Semantic SEO course. Again, in this project, we have used Semantic SEO. I didn't focus on technical SEO on this project or page speed optimization, and I hope I will be able to publish another video for this website so that we can show the another re-ranking process. But this time probably I won't have a seasonal event, so the ranking will happen slower, and I will need to collect all of the relevant signals and all of the authority a little bit slower. But still, since I use the initial ranking advantage, it will be faster than normal. Okay, thank you for listening to me. See you on the next videos. Bye bye.